the pod bay doors.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Cinematic Travelers podcast. Today, we will be reviewing what is known to be one of the highest renowned animated movies of all time, Spirited Away. And no, this is not Chris, like it normally is. He is taking a break this episode, and I, Sean, will be hosting today's episode. So let me go ahead and introduce my wonderful group again. Chris, the founder. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. This is going so smooth. This
So
is going so smooth, Scott. Oh, what a beautiful episode you have crafted here.
I
am
know it.
excited to be here talking about this movie that seems to be lasting forever, just so I can piss off all of these anime fans. I can't wait. Can't wait.
And Tyler, how are you tonight?
We'll see how it goes. This is the third time trying to record this.
And we do also have a special guest on tonight. It is my beautiful wife, Jordan, who does not have a camera, but she is here in voice. Jordan, how are you doing this evening?
I am great. I'm so sorry this is not starting off great, but I am here to defend Studio Ghibli with my heart. And thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, if your parents were turned into pigs at a creepy abandoned amusement park, how do you think you would handle it? Better than Chihiro, I think I can confidently say on behalf of this entire group that we would have handled it terribly.
Terribly.
Yeah.
Extremely bad. Extremely bad. All right, Chris, time to light that candle.
3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Yes, Spirited Away, directed by Hayao Miyazaki and created by the one and only Studio Ghibli. Has anybody else here, out of curiosity, seen any Studio Ghibli movies besides Jordan, of course?
No.
I have seen, I know we were talking earlier.
yes, we were.
That The Grave of Fireflies, we agreed that was one of their movies, and I have seen that, which is on the complete opposite side of the spectrum for
One of the most
Spirited Away.
sad
Oh,
movies
yes.
of all time.
Oh my God! Yes. Oh my God! Have the tissue ready when you watch that movie because it is
absolutely.
going to rip your heart out and throw it on the floor. But it's a very beautiful movie. Very beautiful movie.
All right. So yeah, Spirited Away was budgeted at about roughly $18 million at the time of its release in 2001. It grossed $283 million the year of its release.
Wow!
But it eventually reached upwards of 400 million because of later re-releases and such things. And for a time, it was Japan's highest grossing film before that record was broken by one of the greatest animated series of all time, Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train movie in 2020. Which I know, I'm sure you guys don't know anything about Demon Slayer.
No,
But
you might as
me
well
and-
be talking Japanese for all I know what you're saying.
Me and Jordan are avid fans of Demon Slayer. It's a
Oh my God!
it's a
Tyler,
great
oh,
series.
we're in trouble on this.
I've recommended
episode.
it to Tyler multiple times.
Yeah, you've been trying to get me
He's-
to watch it.
He'll get there eventually. He'll watch it eventually, I'm
I
sure.
gave.
We'll wear him down.
What was the other one? Attack on Titan. I gave that one a chance, and I just couldn't get hooked for some reason. So,
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe Demon Slayer would be different.
I would, yeah. Demon Slayer's great. Also, this movie won Best Animated Feature at the 75th Academy Awards in 2003.
Nice.
So that's pretty. It's a pretty high
Impressive.
honor there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so now that all of the statistics are out of the way, let's get into what this movie is about. 10-year-old Chihiro moves with her parents to a new home in the Japanese countryside. After taking a wrong turn down a woodsy path, Chihiro and her parents discover an amusement park with a stand containing a ton of just delicious-looking food. Out of nowhere, Chihiro's parents begin eating and then transform into pigs. In this supernatural world, Chihiro encounters a host of characters and endures labor in a bathhouse for spirits, awaiting a reunion with her parents. And Chris and Tyler, you guys aren't really much animated movie watchers, correct?
Not really.
Okay. Chris?
I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of animated movies. Not as I've aged. It's kind of weird as a middle-aged man to go into a movie theater that's got animated movies by yourself. They tend to frown on that. Security usually comes and sits around you like, all right, buddy, what are you doing?
I got my eye on it. Okay, cool. So yeah, this
And I
episode.
did have
feel
kids, so
like-
I saw a lot of animated movies.
All right. So yeah, I feel like this episode should be interesting on some levels because I know we've got people here that are absolutely diehard fans, and then we've got people that are kind of on the fence about it, I guess.
Pretty neutral.
Yeah, pretty new to say the least. So as everybody knows, we start off most of our episodes with a fun little icebreaker movie question. So I will go ahead and ask that. If you got stuck in the bathhouse, what job do you think you would have? Chris, we'll start with you.
Why did you start with me? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, come on, Sean. Look at this face. You want this out front in the bathhouse. You want to attract the customers. I think I would be in the management position there. Whatever that guy was that greeting everybody. That's who I would.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
judging everyone that walks
There
in.
you go. Tyler, what about you?
I'd probably be in the boiler room somewhere.
There you go. A little soap
Little-
sprite or
A little
something.
sis,
I don't
right?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And then Jordan, what do you think you'd be doing in there?
I was gonna say like front desk or what Chihiro does. I also just appreciate what she does and cleaning and working hard and getting the job done.
There you go. Well, I can't say that I would do that. I'd probably just be service staff because I'm not touching those disgusting tubs of
Yeah.
gunk and sludge.
Does Jordan have a choice in this movie?
Yeah.
It seemed like all the girls had to go to one spot.
Oh,
All
I
the boys
know.
go to the other. I mean, that's not my rules. I didn't make it up. It was that mean yabba booba baby.
Alrighty, so today we will be sticking to our normal format of positives and negatives, and at the end we'll all give our final rating of the movie. So, with that, let's hop on that sea railway and get into the positives of Spirited Away.
Haku told me to come here and ask you for work.
All right, Chris.
Shit. Why did you start?
Since I feel like I could say you're somewhat of an oddball when it comes to this category, I'm curious to see what your positives are first.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I've watched animated movies, but anime has never been my thing. However, maybe I have some asterisks with that. I don't know. Was Robotech is anime? I remember watching that when I was younger.
Okay.
And I don't remember if Battle of the Planets is anime. Someone could let me know. You probably have never heard of that one. But then there's a whole section of anime that I was introduced to that was not very nice stuff to watch. So that's my idea of what anime is until I watched The Grave of Fireflies, and I was like, okay, there's a whole different thing. So yeah, I was going into this, I was like, oh god, anime. But to start off with, much like Grave of Fireflies, I think this is a beautiful movie. I mean, it's gorgeous to look at. But yeah, it's in a world of where we're just used to like Pixar and the CGI or computer generated animation, that it looks great as well. But it's nice to see a throwback to this hand drawn animation. In fact, to piggyback off what you were saying about the movie, I think this was the first or maybe only animated movie that's hand drawn to win the best animated feature.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that can just tell you about the art of just the way. I mean, God, I could eat up that scene where she's going on the train out in the water and it's just cruising. I mean, that's
It's beautiful.
that is art, is what it was. There's that point where she's walking to the train station and it's kind of on the water, and then there's like the sky. You can't really tell the difference except just her dot walking towards the. It was just like, I mean, I could just sit there and eat that up. Nom, 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 nom. No, it was really good. I like all of the world that this pulls you into. I like the creature designs and just the weirdness of all these spirits and how everything is maybe over exaggerated, especially with, I'm going to say her name wrong, the Yababuba. Yababa. Well, how do you say that?
Is it Yababa?
Yababa. That was it.
Jordan?
All right, yeah. Everything.
Yes.
She's so over exaggerated with her features and everything. Same with the, I can't remember the guy's name that was working the the coal room with that big mustache and everything.
Kamaji.
Yeah, everything's got such a great, unique look to it. Again, yeah, it just pulls you into this world. It looks great. It reminds me a bit of, I guess, Wizard of Oz, where it pulls you in this different world, or Alice in Wonderland with all these fantastical. I'll be honest with you, I got a lot of Labyrinth off of this movie because it's just this weird world. What I really like about the weirdness of the world is like it explains some of the weirdness to you that you need to know for the plot, but some of it's just crazy weird stuff.
Just weird shit.
Crazy weird shit that you look at and go, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And I like that because it's like, all right, that's just part of the world. You wouldn't explain everything in your world to people.
Yeah.
You know, if an
It doesn't
alien
need
came down, you
explaining,
wouldn't
it's
explain
just part of
everything.
it.
Right.
Yep.
You just need that little bit. So I really did enjoy all of that. Chihiro, is that how you say her name? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
I just want to apologize to everybody. I've lived in the South my whole life. I could barely pronounce my name or anybody's name on the show. So I mean no disrespect to anybody, but Chihiro, I liked her arc. She starts out as sort of a very, 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 very whiny and loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she learns through this adventure. She learns, that she has to be self-reliant at points. She has to work for whatever she's going to get. She has to kind of put her courage out there and stop being afraid of things to help other people. And it's a nice journey that she goes through, and you see her grow in this world to where, again, she's very compassionate. Like she's compassionate to, what's his face? Zero face? No face?
No face.
No face.
No face.
Okay, no face. Because she's the one that lets him in, even though that has weird repercussions on that.
Yes.
Although I will say, very cool looking creature design with that. But I will say, it's just every time I saw him, I kept waiting for him to go, "What's your favorite horror movie, Sydney?" I like some of the, just like I said, the weirdness. The work sucks. That was pretty fun. This movie does really hit you in the face with that. All you're doing is draining your soul while you work, and I can 100% agree with that. I did like the part
100%.
with the little, I call them the coal spiders. I think they had a name, but I can't remember what it was. And when she first gets there and she sees the one can't pick the piece of coal up, so she grabs it and takes it, throws it in, and the other one looks at her and goes, "Oh," and it's he can't get it. He like pretends like he can't get it.
Then
Yeah.
everyone just
Yeah.
They're all like, "Oh, I can't get it either."
Yeah.
I had a good laugh about that. But yeah, overall, I think my biggest positive of this movie is that it is just gorgeous from frame one all the way to the end. It's just gorgeous animation on the screen that
Yes.
eye candy that I really did enjoy. So those are my basic positives for this movie, Spirited Away.
Awesome. Love to hear them.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you just wait.
Oh, yeah. All right, Tyler. We're gonna go with you next. What are
All
your
right, so my positives, I liked the animations from the start. I liked how when the parents are driving around and they drive past these little spirit houses, there was like a legend already of the spirits, and they go through the tunnel, and then it brings you into that whole new world, like you were talking about. When the parents smell the food and they're tempted and they start eating all of it, Chihiro is basically the parent in that situation and trying to get them to stop, or they're going to get in trouble. And that kind of, from the start, she's put into situations that are a little bit above her age to be handling, as far as like pressure. And I liked the scene with the boiler room where the little spider drops his rock and she starts to pick it up and help. And then the boiler room, what is his name?
Kamaji?
Boiler man.
Kamaji.
Kamaji. He's like, finish what you started, human. I did catch a quick note that Kamaji is her grandpa. And then towards the end of the movie, she says the other one is her grandma or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
so
the
that
one's
was
playing?
that was basically him telling, I think her name was
Lynn.
Lynn? Yeah, so that was basically him telling her, or him basically covering for her because she was a human. She's not even supposed to be in that world.
So it's not legit.
Yeah, no, that was basically just him being like, no, yeah, I'm her grandfather. Take her up to here to Yubaba and get her a job, even though he wasn't. He was just covering for her.
Well, when he does say to go up to Yubaba and they have to go up to the top floor, the radish spirit, I don't know what it was about him, but I liked him. He was
Yes.
slow, moving around, and
Dude.
it's like he knew what was going on and he was trying to help because they get up there and he looks at her and then he's just like, yeah, all right, well, this
He
is
just
where you
didn't
need to
give
go.
a fuck.
Yeah, just going with it. He's like, yeah, well, whatever, let's go.
I just need a tub.
Just
Yeah.
the tub. I liked when she signs her name on the contract for her first job. It takes away her name, and her new name is Sin. So it's kind of like she's forgetting her own reality and becoming part of this world, which I think the movie kind of focuses on being true to yourself and making sure you remember where you come from. In a sense, the stink spirit shows up, and I liked how everybody's skin and hair starts crawling because of how stinky he was, obviously.
Mhm.
But Chihiro didn't care. She did exactly what she needed to do. She helped a spirit in need, and I don't know if there was any significance behind all of that.
I actually have a little fun fact there about that. So,
Okay.
what Miyazaki's kind of known for with his movies is throwing in, and Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, but throwing in references to his childhood and how he grew up. And so the stink spirit is a callback to how bad the pollution was, or I don't know if it still is, but was back in the day in Japan. And when he was a kid, he was helping clean out a river. And the first thing he pulled out of the river was a bicycle. So same thing as the stink spirit. First thing that came out was a bicycle. So a fun little Easter egg there.
Okay. I guess overall, I liked how even in the worst times, Chihiro was doing her best to be helpful and be nice to people when she didn't have to. I liked how when No Face is trying to hand out gold to everybody, it didn't matter to her because at that time as a child, she didn't have to work. She didn't have to, monetary value didn't really matter to her. It was more like friendship and life over everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, very satisfying looking movie. Had some good messages behind it. I liked it.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Getting some good positives here from everybody.
Don't worry, my boy. Don't you worry. That stink monster's coming.
All right, Jordan. Let's hear those positives.
All right. Well, let me know if I go on for too much because I could talk
We're just
about.
happy to have a female voice on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Wrapping up a guest.
We're gonna go up from 1% audience of females to 2% audience.
I could just go on about Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli films forever, but the thing about Spirited Away is and all of his movies are, I love them because they are able to just captivate that childhood wonderment that you see in the world that we don't always get as adults and kind of just let you escape into this world that he creates. But specifically Spirited Away, I love Chihiro's arc about how she, for example, in the beginning of the movie, she has to go down these stairs and she's so scared to go down these stairs that she's not even looking. And she's taking one step at a time.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the movie, when Haku is hurt and he's in danger, she takes no hesitation to run across this tiny little pole and run up to him. And it's just a perfect representation of her being thrown into this world and having to grow up and take these lessons she learned and go for it.
Yeah.
So
Let's see, I like that when she's going down. Then she hit the wall at one point. She goes so
yes.
fast. Yeah, there was some good funny moments in that movie.
Let me think. I also love this film particularly because it shows a lot of Japanese folklore and culture and like spirituality that as Americans we don't see very often. So we get to see this world that's pretty new to us, and of course it's beautiful, and you could take a screenshot from every point of the movie and it's just stunning.
Yeah, 100%.
No doubt.
Yes. Chihiro, to me, is such a good character because a lot of Miyazaki's main characters are very compassionate people. And they're, to me, a very good example of what we should all try to be. It's a very childlike compassion, but they're a person that is willing to be there for anybody, like even the stink spirit, who is everybody is turned away from him, but she's willing to jump in there and help him any way she can. And I think for No Face, particularly, who kind of represents a spirit who is very lonely and nobody pays attention to, is somebody who gravitates to Chihiro, and why he is so obsessed with her is because she pays attention to him, and he's like, wow, why is this person paying attention to me? I need to get her any way I can. And he tries, and the only way he sees in the bathhouse is he sees this bathhouse and he sees a lot of people in there, and he sees the greed and the overconsumption, and he's like, oh, this is my way of getting to her. And every time she's like, no, that's not what I want. No, that's not what I want. And in the end, she, even after he eats his way through the bathhouse and eats everybody, she's still like, hey, you can come with me. It's okay. That's just not what we do. We try to be better. Seeing them on the train together, and he's just happy to be sitting there with her, is a very sweet representation.
It's very nice to see.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a nobility in her innocent compassion.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does that in a lot of his movies. His main characters are very compassionate people, and that's the kind of person he is. He's such a beautiful person to try to follow and be one of my favorite directors.
Wow.
Sorry. Not to get cheesy, but
let me change some of the notes on my my negatives to this movie. I don't know.
That's why I'm very happy that y'all, whether you have negatives or not, it's okay. But one of the reasons I'm very happy that y'all watch this movie is because he's kind of very few and far between in kind of the people that are in this world now. He, as you saw in the movie, he's very passionate about pollution and nature and working hard and making sure that his movies represent the beauty of the world, even though it's hard to find sometimes.
Poetic.
Sorry, I'm getting cheesy, I know. Sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. It's very, very fitting
get
at this
on
point
this
in
show.
human history. Yeah. We need a lot more movies like this, I reckon.
Yes. But yeah, I just find it a very beautiful and poetic movie. I think it's a very fun movie for all ages. I think it's enjoyable for everybody to watch and kind of escape into and pick up on little things. Tyler, when you said about the radish spirit, a fun little note to that is, like I was talking about before, My Neighbor Totoro is another one of his movies. He's a big, fuzzy guy, kind of looks like a bear.
Very much like the radish spirit in a way.
Yeah. But the image of him in the elevator with Chihiro is kind of a nod to that movie, because there's a point in that movie where Totoro is standing with the main character at a bus stop, and she's kind of squished up next to him. So it's kind of a little homage to his other movie. So I also love the little the little coal sprites are kind of a big thing.
Soot sprites.
Yeah, the soot sprites are a big cute little, he has a cute little character in all of his movies, and they're one of the most popular ones because they're so cute and fun. And I don't know,
they were.
They're just, it's a very fun,
I
lighthearted
like when she's
movie.
like, I need my shoes. And my
Yeah,
I go
they
and
just
get
bring
them.
them. Yeah. So yeah, I love this movie, and I love Hayao Miyazaki and all of his films. So can't give him enough praise.
There we go. Poetic as all get out. Awesome. Well, I will probably piggyback off a lot of y'all's points. Show me this real quick.
Especially his wife's.
Especially those, of course. So to start, I thought one of the opening scenes where they start to go down that kind of forest path, and the dad just starts booking it, and everybody in the car is like freaking out, and he's like, no, come on, relax, I have 4-wheel drive. And it's just like an image of him just fucking leaned over the wheel, just booking it down. I don't know, that cracked me up pretty good. The music, I think, in this movie as a whole, just the entire soundtrack, could put me to sleep in a good way. I love the music in this movie. I think it's just a beautiful soundtrack. The food, especially the pig turning scene, the food in that scene just looked so good. I think some people animate food to look
Scrumptious.
just
Yeah.
oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
It looks
So you guys would be in an abandoned, creepy building, and
oh,
there's
I'd be a pig.
that
I'd be a
meal you
pig
got
for
to
sure.
just eat it. All right.
I would
Yeah.
turn into a pig immediately.
I know. Look at there. Oh my god. The food of the gods.
I wouldn't make it past the stand.
No, dude. I mean, you just got a buffet of all these delicious looking foods. But yeah, I thought the kind of like Chris was saying, the design of all the spirits, I just think is so super cool and very creative. You don't really see many things like that nowadays. Everything's just kind of cookie cutter, or Disney's just trying too hard and it looks like shit. Again, like everybody has said, the movie is just absolutely breathtaking. It's beautifully animated. Just like you said, Jordan, you could take a screenshot at any point in that movie and, it'd probably be a great screenshot. All the characters, even the supporting ones, Kamaji, No Face, all those people, I think, are written really well. You're invested in most of them. I do have one that I'll get to in my negatives. And again, kind of, Chris, like you said, Chihiro's growth in the movie, she starts off super scared and afraid, and towards the end, even though Haku was a friend, she was just straight up wrangling a dragon, just sitting on top of it, trying to get it to calm down. I mean, I wouldn't be doing that to a dragon, you know what I mean?
Bring it on. I've watched Game of Thrones. I can handle a dragon.
There you go. Haku, I was a big fan of Haku. I think he was a really cool character in his development towards the end of the movie. I thought it was really cool how he was just a river in the past life. I don't know. There's something cool about that to me, and how it was just a river that Chihiro used to play in, and that ends up being a part of her spirit world. And I don't know. It's a super cool element of the movie to me. And my last one, I also love how there's really no villain in this movie. Like there's no clear good or evil, which a lot of Disney movies have to have nowadays. It's like there's always a villain and there's always good and bad, and it just kind of gets very boilerplate, very repetitive. And it's, when it comes to this movie, I think it's just its own unique story, which I feel like everybody, like Jordan said, any age can appreciate. So, yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. I remember as I was getting towards the end of the movie, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, there's characters they kind of set up to be where you think they're going to be the bad
Like
guy,
Yubaba.
but they're you think she's going to be, she's evil, but she's not really evil. She's just
she's just a
doing her
grumpy
job.
old lady.
Yeah, that's it. And then they go out to the other one that is her twin sister, and you think, okay, that's the evil witch, but she wasn't evil. So it was it was a nice twist on things.
It's very refreshing when it comes to movies nowadays.
I think it's a good way of showing like how people really are. There's not always black and white. There's a lot of gray with everybody. So it's a good way of showing, try to be the best you can, and hopefully that way you'll bring out the best in whoever you can.
There you go.
Man, I like this. I'm
It's a deep podcast.
The first time in here, you're just taking it away.
Sorry, Sean. The contract's up.
All right. Well, now that we are all done with the positives, let's go ahead and dive into the negatives of Spirited Away.
What useless scum is leaking around in the rain?
And I don't know, the positives were really good, but I feel like we're still going to have a couple negatives from everybody. So I might be wrong, but let's get into it. Chris, you're up first again.
Yeah, I know. It's just such high praise for this movie. I don't know where even to start. All right. I will say I don't know how much. All right, I'm not going to take anything off from the movie because of some of the stuff I think gets lost in translation, because I did watch the dubbed version. I wish I wanted the Japanese version with subtitles, but instead I got the American version. So, and I read that they had to add some dialogue here and there to kind of help us dumb Americans out. So I don't want to get too picky on stuff like that and the character acting and stuff, but I will say she was Chihiro at the beginning of that movie. I didn't think I was going to make it halfway into this if she kept that up. I'm glad she had a character arc because she was fucking annoying.
Very high pitched. Very high pitched.
And everything she said was high pitched and screaming. I was like, please just shut up. You don't have to yell everything. And again, I don't know if that's just the American version or if that's the way it was in the Japanese version. But yeah, it's a little nitpick. I'm going to throw it in a nitpick. But really, my biggest negative to this movie, and it was kind of hard to be. I'm a mean old man, but I'm not that mean. Or I can't watch a beautiful movie that's really generally for, I don't want to say it's for children, but it's kind of, like you said, Jordan, it's that child's mentality in the movie. I don't want to be like, oh, fucking did this. No, I get what the movie was. It was just too long for me, I think. And I did read something about, I can't say the director's name, but when he does movies, he kind of doesn't have like a full-on outline of what he wants to do. It just kind of goes in directions that he feels, which is kind of cool. Yeah. But at the same time, this movie feels like that. It feels at points where it's just kind of meandering along. You get stuff in the bathhouse where it's like, okay, I get it. She's working in the bathhouse. She's cleaning all this. It's really beautiful. And again, it's cool to see all these creatures and all this stuff in this crazy world. But at a certain point, I was just checking out. I was like, I don't know. I don't know who this character is. It's getting introduced. They kept changing like Hayaku. He was the guy, and then he was the dragon. No, I'm a river spirit. I'm like, oh my God, please. I can't. My brain, it can't process all this. But no, it just seems like it was taken a long way around to get there. Again, visually, I didn't mind it because it was. I feel like I'm defending this so that Jordan doesn't attack me.
Okay.
I really feel like next time she sees me, she's gonna knock out my teeth. But no, it was fun to look at, but there's just points where I was like, okay, let's just get on with it. And there's characters that get introduced where I'm like, do I care? Does this person pay off? And like the girl that helps her, I thought she was going to be more of a part of the movie, but she's just kind of there. She's
kind of like a side character.
Yeah, she's just kind of.
You talking about Lynn?
Yeah, I guess. Is that the one that was like, didn't like her, but then helped her?
Like the older girl?
Yeah. Had that weird boat that she took. That was the weirdest damn boat. That little thing that she rode. I don't know how she rode that boat, but anyway. So there were characters where I just kind of got lost or bored with, or just not interested in. The twin sister Yababa, what that lady that she had to finally. I mean, an hour and 40 minutes, and she finally gets her quest to go on to free her parents. And if you do this, I'm like, God damn, it's almost 2 hours in this movie, and we're just now getting to where she has to go and do this thing, although it did lead to that amazing stuff on the train. But it was just like, okay, who is this again? Why are we going out here? And then I really lost interest at certain points in the movie. I mean, if it's a child's movie or a children's, but I don't know what child's going to sit there for over 2 hours and watch this. I don't know. But that's really my biggest criticism is it just feels too long and feels very meandering. And I probably went a long way around to say that. My last negative, and this isn't the movie's fault, but it kind of is, right at that moment where her parents are chowing down pigs and turning the pigs. I had a big bag of popcorn. I was like, oh, I'm the parent. I'm turning into a pig. Curse you, movie. Curse you. I'm the pig. And you know what? I just shrugged my shoulders and kept it. So anyway, but yeah, those are my negative. Like I said, it's just that one is really a glaring negative. Everything else is just nitpicky.
Fair enough. All right. Tyler, what say you, sir?
I'm gonna make it pretty quick. I don't really have any negatives for the movie. I liked it. It was a feel good movie. I don't know. I couldn't really find anything that I didn't like about it that I could say, hey, that was bad. So sorry, I'm leaving you out there alone.
This is the guy that gave Blade Runner a 5, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to let you know that he gave Blade Runner a 5 out of 10. So yeah, we'll see he's playing Deshaun right now. Oh, Sean and George, yay!
All right, well, Jordan, what say you?
She's got nothing. We don't.
Well, I'm actually really surprised that Tyler doesn't have any negatives. I'm
Me
very
too.
happy by that.
Me too.
I'm not at all.
It's a good movie, man. It was just,
I'm
you
not
know.
at all.
Well, I will agree with Chris on the point. I think Yababa's sister probably could have been introduced a little bit earlier in the movie. In my opinion, it feels like the last half of the movie, or I would say last quarter of the movie, when she gets on the train and all that and goes to her house in the swamp, I feel like could have been a little bit better if they had introduced her a little bit earlier in the movie and played that arc a little bit better.
Instead of just at like the very end where it's like, oh, hey, here's this character. And then...
Yeah, even when we were watching it, I was like, oh my God, there's only 20 minutes left. And I feel like there's so much to happen in the last 20 minutes.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Probably not the same way you said it, but I did say the same thing.
I do think it ended up being a very beautiful story, but I think it could have been, a little Easter egg here and there when she could have popped up a little bit earlier, maybe.
Or they would have maybe sold her as a quote unquote villain earlier in the movie. That way, when you get there and you see that she's not, they would be like, oh, this is.
And then I'll say the only other negative I have is that damn baby. That damn baby was so annoying to me. I love the movie. Yeah. Oh my God. I feel like, honestly, the movie could have been fine without the baby in it. And
100%.
Literally fine.
It was so weird, too.
Yes,
weird.
It was so
You're like,
weird.
Why is it looking like that? I don't know.
Yeah. And it was
Cheeks
so
out
big.
and all.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, man, I can see a lot of baby butt.
I'll say my favorite part was when he turned into a mouse, and I was like, "Oh, you're such a cute little mouse. Just stay a mouse." But yeah, I think those are my only two big negatives of the movie.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Well, mine, I really only have one. Listening to Jordan and Chris talk about the kind of how it took a little bit to get there, I would say, so if you've got the half right here and then the other half, for me at least, if you went a quarter back and you've got like I'm terrible with fractions, so whatever this is, kind of three-fourths of the movie through, I was kind of like, all right, like what, like I don't know, it kind of lost me a little bit, and I was kind of just like, what's going on? Like, I feel like a lot of shit was happening at one time, Jordan, kind of like you said. So yeah, there's that, which is honestly kind of just a nitpick for me. But then again, I mean, yeah, just to reiterate what George said, some things don't explain themselves, like a big ass baby. I don't know. It just is the big ass baby, and that's it. I mean, I guess you don't really need an explanation for everything when it comes to movies. Especially when it comes to a movie like this, but yeah, could have completely done without that baby, and I think the movie would have been just as good. So
that's it, huh?
That's it. That's all I've got.
God.
Well, alrighty then.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, everybody. Here we go. Oh my God. There'll be lots of tens flying around today.
Now that we've gone through all of the positives and negatives of Spirited Away, let's all go around and give our final rating. Chris, let's start with you, sir.
Of course, you have to start with me. I give this thing a 2. This is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I never want to watch it again. Anime sucks. I hate it all. No, it's kind of tough to be super, bitter. Like I said, I could be a bitter old man, but it's hard when this is the type of movie. It's a feel good kind of movie. It looks beautiful and all that. So without it being too long, I'll be kind since my niece is here, my favorite niece. I'll give it a 7.5.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, see?
Not what I was expecting.
Yeah,
at
you were
all.
expecting me to come in. Just to remind everybody, I got one co-host who gave Blade Runner a 5, and the other one who gave Die Hard a 6.5. See, I thought about coming in here and just tearing it apart. But Sean was smart. He was like, I'll get Jordan on this. I don't get it. And it worked. Damn it.
Well, alrighty, awesome. A great review so far. Tyler, what do you think?
I'd give it an 8.
An 8.
I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Damn.
There it is. Look at
Wow. Hell yeah.
Y'all are educating
yeah.
us fools.
All right, Jordan. I think we can all guess it, but what's your rating?
Well, I am a little biased because these are the types of movies I love. But I think for the movie that it is, especially in nowadays animation, and I don't know, when I have kids, I would love for them to grow up on these kinds of movies. I wish I would have grown up on these kinds of movies and these kind of animated movies that teach more about compassion and how you should view the world and nature and the type of person you should be. I will say, being a Studio Ghibli fan, Spirited Away is not my favorite one. I do love it, and I do love the world that it creates. So I'm probably going to give Spirited Away probably a 9.3, in my opinion. Out of his movies, I know that's very high, but
I always like the 0.3.
yeah, sorry.
That's good. I like it. All right.
But yes, I think it's a beautiful film that I think people should see and appreciate, at the very least, for the animation. That, especially with the way AI is going now, and who knows what's going to be created in the future.
Damn, yeah. That's a good point.
I think it's great to appreciate hand-drawn animation and the amount of time it took.
Yes, the artistry on display is amazing.
Absolutely. For the very least of that, even if you don't vibe with the story, I think it's a very beautiful film to appreciate and at least watch once in your life.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna meet somewhat in the middle when it comes to ratings, but I'm giving this movie just a flat 9. Just a good solid 9.
There were you, sir. Very bold. You went far out on that limb with that one, buddy.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a great movie to sit down and watch. Again, the animation could get rid of the baby and tighten things up a little bit there at the end. But
I figured it out, folks. I figured it out why he gave it a 9. The other movie he gave a 10 had Anakin slaughtering children. So maybe that baby just
100%.
enraged him. He's like, "Where's Anakin right now?"
Get rid of the baby.
So if Anakin would have showed up and chopped that baby in half with his lightsaber, you'd have gone 10 all the way, right?
Oh, it would have been an 11. It would have been an 11.
I gave it an 11.
Well, alrighty. Looks like that wraps up this episode of Spirited Away. Chris, tell us where they can follow us on social media.
Oh, I would say Instagram is the best place to do it. That one is at Cinematic Travelers Pod. Tyler's saying yes because I can't ever remember it. We do have a Twitter account, although it's a cesspool. So don't go on Twitter. But if you are on it, we're at CMT Pod. I will let you know all I ever do on there is just promote our videos. So that's all you're going to get from me because I hate Twitter. What else? We have an email address, thecinematictravelers@gmail.com. You can get in touch with us there. So yeah, come follow us and all that fun stuff.
And we're also on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music. So go give us a follow there as well. Spread the word. Subscribe, comment, please.
Let us know. Let me hear from you anime fans. You guys are the most insufferable people.
They can be, for sure. They can be.
They drive around in their little cars with loud tailpipes, and they all have their anime stickers on the back.
No, we don't claim them. We don't claim them.
All righty.
Those Star Wars fans are not like that.
No, they are not. No, they are not. Okay, well, and to quote the man himself, if you've made it this far, then we must have done something right. Thanks for joining us today, and for God's sakes, go do something productive, because you know we aren't. And cut it. Cut it.
Once you've met someone, you never really forget them.